All right, welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
And today we're going to talk about Jack Smith.
Jack Smith.
We record this on Saturday the 11th at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific time.
Woohoo! This is coming up Friday?
Yeah, I think this is Friday.
This is Fridays, okay.
On Friday the 10th, he put in a court filing with the 11th Circuit Appeals Court in Georgia, I believe, is where they're located. Basically, Eileen Cannon is preventing the release of the 2 volumes of Jack Smith's report about one volume's on January 6th and the other one's on Mar-a-Lago and the crimes involving Donald Trump therein. The Department of Justice said they're not going to release the Mar-a-Lago one, which makes sense because you're talking government secrets here, and why would they release that if they don't have to? And plus you've got Walt Nauta and Carlos de Oliveira still on trial for that, so it would be redacted to hell and back anyways. But the DOJ wants to release the January 6th report. In the details, apparently, Jack Smith also announced that he was resigning as a special counsel because his investigation's done. He's written his report, and we're done here. So we want to look at the energy around Jack Smith. What lessons did he learn from this, and what's next for him? Okay, so
for entertainment purposes only.
Clearly. Jack Smith, what's the energy going around Jack Smith? 7 Carter, here we go. It's the Emperor. You know, it's funny. He came from The Hague, the world courts and such, dealing with tyrants and bringing down tyrants. Crossed with the King of Cups. Biden had him in there. Merrick Garland had him in there, and it's kind of the tyrants versus compassionate leaders here, and what he's learned in the process, he can distinguish between leaders and tyrants, I think, is where we're going with this here. The 3 of Cups, he's been a celebrated prosecutor. He has followed the law. He's brought forward evidence. He's very strategic in his messaging with it. Note, there's never any leaks coming from Jack Smith's special investigation in here. He now has an opportunity. He's handed in his report. He completed his investigation. He's brought indictments. He's gotten guilty verdicts in these cases, and he had his court case to bring up against who the Supreme Court allowed to be a king. The overarching energy is 2 of Wands, but he's already, although he has 2 court cases against him, he's ready to move on. Maybe even going back to the world courts again. Lesson we learn is the devil. There's corruption everywhere. It's not exclusive to Donald Trump. And he's going to continue to be a fighter against corruption wherever it is. And he's going to be leading the path forward. He is not going off to retire.
Yeah.
He's going off to continue to shed light on the corrupt actions of people. And it doesn't have to be the U.S. It could be anywhere he goes, because the way you bring the message is the same. You're looking for tyrants versus just leaders. So that's what's going on with him. Do you want to do the spiritual lesson, or do you want to do what's next? You better think about what you're going to read on.
What's next?
All right. What's next for...
Okay.
Don't want to touch the spiritual stuff. What part of God's ineffable plan involves Jack Smith next?
Okay. Foundation is the Knight of Wands. So it's time to start new actions. I got new things to go after.
New plans. New investigations.
Time to move on. My work is done. Challenge is the Queen of Cups.
Rides off to the sunset.
Queen of Cups is keeping your emotions intact,
which he always does.
Yeah, he's probably really disappointed, pissed off that the corruption that is so obvious in the courts with Eileen Cannon and with Trump becoming president, or at least president-elect. it's got to be so frustrating. He had him dead to rights, and just too gosh darn long to get it through our legal system.
The political process got in the way of the legal system.
Underneath it is the tower. The foundations of our legal system are just crumbling. They're just broken, and Trump has spotlighted that how broken our legal system is. In the past, so we've got the Eight of Wands. He's had the messaging coming out there. He brought it out as soon as he could bring it out. Like Dave mentioned, the one thing about Jack Smith is there was no leaks.
Nope.
The information that came out. That's time. Right. When the information came out, it was the information he let out, and he didn't let anything out. Everything was close to the vest. But when it came out, and it was orderly and irrefutable. Current energy. Current energy is the devil. So it's once again, the corruption is there. It's for everyone to see.
There's no lack of corruption.
Yeah.
Nobody has a monopoly.
Yeah, on it. It's like I can move forward. I'm moving forward to take on corruption. Yeah, my next kind of things to do is take on more corruption. Overarching energy is the Five of Pentacles. He's showing the people who were left out. The corruption is excluding people. This, you could take this as a metaphor for justice.
I take it as a metaphor for immigration and refugees.
That could be that too. It's just
human trafficking.
Yep. There's other things out there that the corruption that needs to be addressed. He's going to keep moving forward. The Chariot. He's a force. You're not going to stop him. He is going to continue moving forward. He's going to continue to make progress on this. This is someone that is doing good for the world. Outcome is the Moon. He's going to go out there and solve the mysteries. Find where the confusion is and try and shine a light on it. Take the Moon, take the confusion and misdirection out of there and shine the light. The end.
It's interesting. What does Jack Smith sound like? You ever hear him speak?
No.
Robert Mueller. You ever hear him speak?
No, I don't think so. I didn't watch the Mueller.
Yeah, the only time I heard Mueller speak, there were two times. One was an award ceremony where he was offering up. I think he was joking with Obama that his daughters would get could join the intelligence agencies or something along those lines. And the other was his testimony in front of Congress regarding his report. Jack Smith, I think I've only heard him speak once at a conference or something like that. It was short. When reporters ask him for comments, he just ignores them. He just walks like I don't know who this person is. I'm not talking to them. It's very, very silent. You can move those things, please.
Okay, you're doing okay. I wasn't sure if you wanted to.
No, he keeps things very close to the vest, and he's probably disappointed that politics got in the way of his prosecution.
Yeah, how could you not be, right?
Right. You want to see that all the way through, but you know what? His job is done with this. He's done what he needed to do. He is now going to ride on. There are other people that can. Basically, the surgeon's done his surgery. Other people can close up or work on some of the other ancillary damage. That if you have a heart surgeon, you have the heart surgeon work on the heart, but you don't need him, sewing up stuff, the damage around it. He's got other hearts to go work on. So, as much as we'd like to see him see this all the way through, he doesn't necessarily need to see it all the way through. There are very competent people in the Department of Justice and the Attorney General's office that can take up what he's got. Basically, he's given them all the information they need, and it's now summarized in a report. All they have to do is bring it to the courts and prosecute. Spiritual lesson for Jack Smith, 4 cards. Six of Cups, nostalgia.
The secret card.
He was naivety and nostalgia. I guess it's wanting to make a difference in with the world, but yeah, these cards are great. Wanting to help people. It's kind of like you're not a Pollyanna, you're not naive for wanting to help people who are marginalized. Feel the full, have their equality in the law brought into them. What's against that? Oligarchs. People who, fix the courts. People who don't compromise and never... These are like just the trifecta of really evil, toxic behavior. Narcissists, entitled, wealthy people, arrogance, that type of... arrogance, avarice, and vanity are the things that he fights against in his quest to make things just in the world. How interesting. Arrogance, vanity, and materialism. Nice. Those are the things that he struggles against when he does his work. And again, we talked about human trafficking a little bit with Gary's cards here, or at least with that 5 of coins. With immigration, going back, if you have Putin starting wars with the Wagner folks in Africa, that's going to cause refugees to leave the war zones.
Yep.
Those refugees start a human migration. That migration reaches the coast and then goes to Europe. And when they start showing up in Europe, you start fanning the flames of stranger danger. Fear the stranger. We don't have enough resources. And that drives everybody further to the right and isolationistic. And when they're isolationistic, they're not cooperating with their neighbors. They're basically hunkering down and sheltering in place so that you can now pick off those neighbors one by one because they're not unified. They've formed their own little city-states, as it were. Putin couldn't take over the world, but he could take over one country at a time or one territory at a time. So it's kind of a bigger picture plan for those people who want to reshape the world and pillage it. And in his way, he's like the type of person who's fighting for the refugee to have them be treated equally. And it's probably what he's going to be doing next.
All right, so I'm going to do a little 4-carder. Will the appeals court overrule Judge Aileen Cannon, and will Jack Smith's January 6th report see the light of day?
Sooner than 4 years.
Yeah. Foundation of the reading, judgment. The call coming out, people standing up to take notice. You've got the 3 of Wands waiting for your ship to come in. The High Priestess, the Divine Feminine Knowledge. It's about knowledge, asking the right questions, and you get the right answers. Sorrow, the 5 of Cups. Sorrow, not happy with how things turned out. And underneath it, the Death card. Okay, so will the report come out? The appeals court is blowing the horn. People need to stand up and they need to show who's, are they going to answer the call? Will they answer the call? Got to look and see the ship's coming in. Things of value. Yeah, basically, it's kind of looking out in the future and saying, yes, here it comes. Finally, I've been waiting for this to finally arrive.
Is it a day late and a dollar short?
Yeah.
Tell me that's not exactly what that is.
Yeah, it really kind of is, isn't it? It's
the time where it could have made a difference is at an end because you had to wait too long for them to make their decision, and by the time it comes out, it doesn't make an effing difference.
Yep. And it's a shame because it's like they said, it could have made the difference.
Yeah, and should. It wouldn't matter to the Trump tards.
Well, it could have mattered.
Never mattered to MAGA. It never, ever mattered to MAGA. MAGA's only interested in 4 things. Whites, males, Christianity, and heterosexuality. As long as Trump does any of those things, anybody does any of those things that don't attack those 4 core tenets, they're fine with it. And this would be attacking their core tenets of Donald Trump being a god.
I guess on the optimistic side, if the information came out, this might be the first time anyone who watches Fox Entertainment and thinks it's news might have actually seen what was going on.
Well, exactly. And that goes back to the person who was a former Trumper that posted up on my page. If you can get them out of the echo chamber of Fox News, Newsmax, OAN, and present them with facts and data to back it up, there are some that they're not cultists. They like Trump because they believe everything they hear on Fox News, and all of a sudden they hear, wait a minute, that's not what was happening? Wait a minute, they can change their mind because they've just been lied to, and the minute that they get a different story that makes more sense, they pull themselves out of that fake reality. Otherwise, they're not fully indoctrinated. You want to peel those people off. Again, the ones that are fully indoctrinated, the cult members, they're lost.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you an alternative to that reading is...
Thank you very much for watching this video.
The alternative reading is the information does get published. But Fox News and news agencies like Fox News don't publish it. Don't talk about it or spin it.
Yeah, because mainstream media is now owned by who?
Yeah. Oligarchs.
Oligarchs. Right? Conservative oligarchs who all back Trump. So why would they spin out a story that does not carry the narrative that they want to bring forward?
Exactly. So if it does come out, the corporate media is just either going to ignore it or they're going to spin it as Nancy Pelosi driven garbage and dribble. You know, the most compelling, it's his...
I like that. Not the Nancy Pelosi part, but when you think about it, all the corporate media supported Trump. Biden, stuttered once in his thing. Oh my God, he's having a stroke.
Yeah.
Trump is word soliding, and it's like, oh, he's 4D chess genius.
Exactly. And so even if it does come out, it'll be spun in such a way that it's just the Democrats' sour grapes and it was a witch hunt, or they will just conveniently ignore it.
They'll ignore it.
And and unless it's in the Sunday Funnies, MAGA's not going to read it.
Not even the Sunday Funnies, on NASCAR Today.
We need Darrell Waltrip to bring it out.
Boogity, boogity, boys.
And Randy LaJoy to come out and talk about what was happening on January 6th. Because the most compelling part was the actual testimony by all the Republicans that were in the inner circle. Where they were there when in the room where it happened.
No Democrats testifying. It was all Republicans.
It was all Republicans.
Do you think the NASCAR fans would support DEI? That
has got to be really conflicting to them.
Yeah, DEI stands for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated.
Yeah.
Not diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yeah, Dale Earnhardt was definitely the most beloved racer in modern times.
The mantra is raise hell, praise Dale.
And so DEI to them, they could be confused. Yeah, that's probably how you get them to vote for DEI. Support DEI is just tell them it's Dale Earnhardt.
Have Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Just have
support DEI.
Just having a Dale Earnhardt's mug on.
Yeah, with a Bud Light in his hand, Budweiser in his hand,
an open face mask.
Exactly. Okay, thank you everyone for watching this video and support our channel. We appreciate it.
Yes, if you like these videos, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see our newest videos. They come out every night at midnight Pacific time. Leave a comment. I read them all, respond to many, and we also give you a secret card at the end of every video, except for the ones that I forget to.
Yeah.
So today's secret card is the Hanged Man.
Don't throw anybody under the bus that you want to. Screw them anyways.
The Hanged Man is, looking at things from a different perspective.
Or shoving them under the bus.
Or throwing them under the bus. Or is it taking a lot of time? What was the...
Oh, delays. Big delays.
Delays. So in the situation with Jack Smith, the hangman will just be Fox News turning it around and making it seem like it was just a witch hunt, that none of this actually mattered. And it's the court of Fox News, so there's no rebuttal to their nonsense, and it just feeds the echo chamber even more. So in some ways, it's almost better if it doesn't come out right now, because it might not benefit anybody, and it's too damn late anyway.
I think between the Mueller report and this thing, if everything comes out, the history books will get it right.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. The history books will show what actually happened.
But if you're watching this video in 30 years from now,
oh God, you won't be watching this.
Yeah, understand that the morons around here at the time don't want to hear the history right now. It'll seem so black and white then, and for many of us, it's really black and white now. But we're dealing with a bunch of crazy people.
Yeah, and when David says morons, you weren't referring to us, were you? I guess history will tell us.
Exactly. We'll catch you on the next video. Take care.
Bye.